What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight. Alright, we're coming back to Muse. Yes, indeed. Muse Fans FEELIN YOU. Come on now. Here we go. This is a request from Thistlestock. And Thistlestock wanted to see me react to this song by Muse called Survival. Now, have I done this song before? Or have I heard this song before? Yes, to both. I've heard this song, and I did a reaction to this song already. It was blocked, unfortunately, but if I remember correctly, I think this might have been one of the highest scores I've given Muse. I think I gave him like a 9. I think it was a 9.1 or a 9.2, if I'm not mistaken. It was a 9. I remember it was a 9, but it was a low 9. But it was still a 9. I loved it. I absolutely loved the song. And, here we go again with the old, you watched the wrong version. You should have watched this version. Well, okay. I understand why you're upset about a 9.1, but okay. If you want, look, here's the thing. Whenever you guys do that, you want me to, you do the old, you watched the wrong one, you should have watched this one. Well, here's the thing. In a situation like this, where I already gave it a 9.1, you're really kind of rolling the dice, because if this performance doesn't live up to that one, the score's going to go down. So you're really kind of taking a chance here at Thistlestock, but I guess we'll see what happens. Look, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this performance will be even better. It's possible, okay? All I'm saying is, I already gave the song a 9.1. So here's the deal. I will not be taking the song into account at all. Why? I already did a reaction to it. Granted, it got blocked, but it's up on the Patreon page if you guys want to go check it out. Like I said, I think I gave it like a 9.1 or a 9.2. So you're more than welcome to go check out what I thought of the song over on the Patreon page. No, I will only be reacting to, evaluating, and scoring the live performance. I'm talking about stage presence, stage energy, stage interaction, crowd interaction, production. I'll be taking all of that into account, not the song. Now, Muse, when it comes to their live production and their live show, there have been times I have not been impressed with them. There have been times where they literally just stood there and I was like, there's nothing impressive about that. And then it's funny. People will then, come at me with, well, they don't need to move around. They don't have to move around. They're Muse. They're concentrating on the music and blah, blah, blah. And then I'll criticize them for that, and then people will criticize me for saying what I think about that. But then the funny thing is, the very next reaction, I will turn around and I will do another live thing, and I will see them moving around the stage, interacting with each other, interacting with the crowd, being animated, and I will be singing their praises about, look, they can do it. And here's the funny thing, social experiment time. Those exact same people who were criticizing me for being so harsh on Muse and for saying, they don't have to move around, then turned right around and praised me for acknowledging that they are amazing showmen. And they're fantastic showmen, and they put on such an amazing live show, and they're so impressed that I can see that, and I appreciate the value. These are the exact same people who on the last reaction, when I criticized them for just standing there, were criticizing me for coming down on them. It's so funny. It is so funny to me how Muse fans are. They're so... Look, I'm not saying this to be disrespectful. I'm saying it's very matter-of-factly. The proof is right here on the channel. It's funny how Muse fans can be so polarizing. It's just hysterical to me. But anyway, we're going to do this. We're going to do Survival again, and I'm going to see their live performance and see if it's better than the last one I saw. So this was posted by Rebel X, and the video has 284,314 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? You ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Muse Survival live at Rome Olympic Stadium. So this is not at the Olympics. It's at the Rome Olympic Stadium. Got it. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
A pyro. Okay, I just saw Matt stand up here, so I have a feeling things are going to turn up a bit now. When the song first kicked in, drummer was back there clicking the sticks, bass player was up at the front of the stage leading the crowd with the snaps. So, crowd interaction, good, really good. Other than that, though, really not a whole lot to go on. So, I don't know. We'll see. Look, Matt stood up from the piano. Now we'll see. I get the feeling things... Okay. One of two things is going to happen. Things are going to seriously turn up a notch very quickly. Or we're going to see more of the same. Of them not really doing a whole lot of anything. Very opposite ends of the spectrum for me when it comes to this. Remember, I'm not taking the song into account. I've already done a reaction to the song. It got blocked, but it's on the Patreon page. You can go check it out if you want. I gave it an amazing score. If I'm not mistaken, it was in the low 9s. So, we'll see how this goes. It really is going to depend, honestly, probably in the next, 15 or 10 to 15 seconds is probably going to determine where this is going to go. Let's see what Matt does. Let's see what the band does here.
Because I choose to strive.
Okay, moving around. Okay. Okay, I was right. They turned it up. A lot of moving around, which I'm really happy to see. And a lot of people don't see that as, okay, what Matt was doing while he was playing the guitar, play, and then he would strum and bring the hand up, play, hand up, doing the old Wild Stallions thing, right? I still count that as crowd interaction, because every time he did it, where did he look? Into the crowd. He'd be looking at his guitar, and then when he hit that and brought his hand up, eyes came up to look in the crowd. And when he would look back at his guitar again, playing, hand came up, looked in the crowd. That, I do determine that to be crowd interaction. I do. He didn't have to look up into the crowd. He didn't have to. It was almost like, like he's playing and boom, they're looking for approval. Boom, let's hear it. Boom, let me hear ya, type of thing. But without saying it, just conveying it through eye contact with the crowd. And that's, I do consider that to be crowd interaction. So, yeah, absolutely. No, overall, it's a really good live performance so far. Really good. Would I say this is a great live performance so far? I don't know if I go that far. Not yet. But I am seeing a lot of movement and motion. I am seeing some crowd interaction. If I could see some interaction between the people on stage, that's what's going to take this up into the 8s. I have a feeling. I don't know. Then again, maybe I'll just see, Matt do something really cool. See him do some great showmanship. And I don't know. Listen, we still got about 1:45 to go. So there's a lot of time. There's a lot of time for them to play with. Let's see what happens. Okay. He's running. There we go. Okay. Okay. Now we're up into the great territory. All right. It was a lot of fun watching him go down that ramp. It was a lot of fun. He did a lot of different things, dropping down to his knees and playing, getting up and walking, and then going into almost like a hurdling run where he would take a few steps and it was like he was jumping over a hurdle. That was pretty cool to see. All while playing the guitar. That's pretty impressive. It is pretty impressive. Now, like I said, I've said this before about doing things like that and, playing over your head and playing behind your back. Look, if you know how to play your instrument, like the back of your hand, you know your instrument inside and out with your eyes closed. Doing stuff like that really is not that difficult, but it looks difficult. It looks impressive. And I'm not going to lie, man. I mean, running like that while playing, it's not easy. You have to really think about it, and you have to really put your work in with it. But you practice it often enough, you practice doing it often enough, it becomes second nature. And it's really no different. Honestly, it's really no different than breathing. It really isn't. But it's still super cool to see, isn't it? It is super cool to see. Absolutely. It's putting on a great show. Kind of like the whole Stevie Ray Vaughan playing behind his back thing. You practice it enough, you get used to doing it, it becomes second nature. It really is not that difficult once you get the hang of it and once you're used to it. But it still looks good. It's still showmanship, right? Exactly. Because most people 90% of the people in that crowd don't even know how to play guitar. And the 10% that do, only 10% of them can play the guitar probably as well as Matt can. And out of those 10%, out of that percentage, now we're talking about 1%, right? Maybe 10% of that 1%. So we're talking about a tenth of the people there. Maybe they could actually do that. Maybe they actually could. Maybe they'd be having the discipline and the work ethic to practice that and be that good at their instrument that they could do something like that. That's what makes it special. That's what makes it cool more than anything else. At least for me it does anyway. Anyway, let's keep going. We got 45 seconds. Let's finish out here. Leading the crowd. Bob. Bob. Oh, look at him run. Drummer standing up. Interacting! Right at the end, but still did it. I'm guessing that was the last song of the show. Great closer. Great closer. And what a great way to perform that song in a closing fashion. Yeah, I could definitely get behind that. Absolutely. All right, let me think about it, and I'll see you in the review. We'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Muse with a live performance of Survival. This was a request from Thistlestock. Okay, before I give my score, couple of things. Number one, I have heard this song before. I think I made that perfectly clear at the beginning. I've done a reaction to this song already. Unfortunately, it got blocked by YouTube. I think it was because it was a performance they did at the Olympics, and I think it was the IOC. I think it was the International Olympic Committee that actually stepped in and blocked me. The Olympics are savage about protecting their intellectual property. And yes, it's the band's music, it's the band performing, but what people need to understand is they were performing their song, and they were performing it well, but they were performing it at the Olympics, and that automatically makes it the intellectual property of the IOC. Every band that has ever performed at the Olympics has signed off and released their performance to become the intellectual property of the IOC. It happens every single year. So every time that the Olympics happen, it doesn't matter who it is. If you're performing at the Olympics, you sign off on it, and that performance becomes the intellectual property of the IOC. I do believe that's why it was blocked. I would have to double check, but off the top of my head, I think that's what happened. But in any case, I've already reacted to the song. I'm not taking the song into account here at all. The song I reacted to was from a live performance, and I think I gave it it was in the low 9s. It was like a 9.1 or 9.2. Maybe it was a 9.0. I don't remember. But it was a low 9. I remember that. I was very impressed. It's one of the highest scores I've given Muse so far. So I'm not taking the song into account here. If you want to see what I thought about the song itself, go check out the reaction on Patreon. Unfortunately, it will never be seen on YouTube. It has been blocked forever. So, yeah, thanks a lot, IOC douchebags. Anyway, I am basing my score and my evaluation completely on the live performance that I've seen here. Okay, that's it. Second thing I want you to keep in mind is this. I will react to whatever is requested of me. If people want me to do the exact same song 4 different ways, 4 different times, I will do it, okay? I have always been about the fan base. I've always been about the viewers on this channel. I have built this channel completely around the fact that this channel is, in fact, 100% request driven. So if people really want to see me react to the exact same song 4 different times, 5 different times, I will do it. I won't be happy about it, but I will do it. This is only my 2nd time doing survival, so hopefully there are no more after this. But whenever this happens, usually it happens because, and this was one of those cases, people will say, you watched the wrong version. You should have seen this version. You would have given this version a higher score. Well, here's the problem with that. I didn't see that version. I saw the other version. So you're asking me now to compare. Okay, but here's the problem with that. Whenever you compare things, you roll the dice. Maybe because remember, people's tastes vary. Because you might think it's amazing, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to think it's amazing. You know what I mean? So it's a crapshoot. Whenever you do that and you ask me to react to a same song, different venue, different performance, but the same song, remember, number 1, I'm not taking the song into account. Number 2, I'm going to be basing everything on that live performance. So you're kind of rolling the dice there, you know what I mean? So please keep that in mind, folks. I mean, like I said, I will react to the same song 6, 7, 8 times. If that's what you really want and you make that an official request, I'll do it. I will absolutely do it. So please keep that in mind. I have no choice in the matter either. I have no say because this channel is 100% request driven. So I have 0 say in the matter. All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, I am going to give that live performance, stage presence, stage energy, crowd interaction, stage interaction, production, all those factors, not the song, just what happened on stage. I'm going to give that live performance an 8.5. Yep, 8.5. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay. They did everything that I was looking for. They did. And they did it really well. At the beginning, we had some crowd interaction with the drummer and the bass player. Bass player was doing the snapping. The drummer was doing the stick hitting, leading the crowd with the hits. So there's some crowd interaction right there. Okay? So crowd interaction, check. For the most part. I would love to see Matt do some crowd interaction, but we've seen it so far, so by letter of the law, crowd interaction, check. Matt playing the piano, did a great job. Stood up, took his guitar, started playing. Looking at the guitar while playing. Did that big upward motion with the arm. And when he did that, what did he do? Looked up into the crowd. Made eye contact with at least 1 or 2 people in the crowd each time he did it too. So each time he made eye contact with 1 or 2 people, what did he do? Created a connection. For that brief second or 2, he created a bridge that crossed that gap and created a personal connection with that person. That person will remember those 1 or 2 seconds for the rest of their lives. I guarantee it. Okay? That is something very cool. And when performers are able to do that and create that connection, that is something truly special. So now from Matt, we've had some crowd interaction. A little bit, but still crowd interaction nonetheless. Check. Okay. Stage energy. A lot of movement. A lot of motion from everybody involved. Even the drummer. He can't move around. He can't leave his seat. But he was doing very large, overly exaggerated arm motions. Did he have to make his arms move that big? Absolutely not. He could have kept his hands right here and done the exact same thing. But because he was doing those big arm movements, those big arm motions, there's energy. there's movement, there's motion. There you go. What more can you ask for from a drummer? Bass player was moving around. Not a lot, but he was still moving around. He wasn't planting his feet like a tree and standing there rooted to the stage. No, he was moving around, mostly forward and back, but he would move side to side too, so he's moving around. Matt was moving all over the place. So a lot of motion, movement, and energy there. So there we go. Stage energy, check. Matt came running down the stage. Showmanship. Got down on his knees. Plays. Stands up. Runs. Hurdles. Runs. Hurdles. Runs. Hurdles. All while playing. Showmanship. Check. Along with the drummer back there with the big arms. Also a big check for showmanship. So we've already covered pretty much all the bases. Let's see. Showmanship. Check. Crowd interaction. Check. Stage energy. Check. Production. Let's talk about production. Those video screens. Really well done. The pyro towers. Really well done. Eye-catching. Yes. But not stealing the show. Not being the focal point. Not being the thing that everybody relies on to create energy for the show. Now, that's being done by the musicians. This is being done as an accent. And really well done to boot. So, production. Check. We're missing one thing. We're missing only one thing now. Okay? We'll get to that. We'll see if they cover it. So, here's Matt right at the front of the stage. Gets up across that ramp. Gets to that little platform out there. What does he start doing? Leading the crowd. More crowd interaction. This time, far more direct. Far more, less hidden. Far more open and big about it. There we go. Check again. More crowd interaction. Great stuff. Gets on the mic, sings a little bit, runs back, all the way back to the main stage, runs up to the drummer along with the bass player. All three interact with each other for those last two measures. They waited literally to the very last second, but stage interaction, check. They covered all the bases. Everything I was looking for, they did it. Now, could they have done more? Yes, they could have. I would have liked to have seen more stage interaction, obviously. But everything else, they were batting 500, man. They were, look, batting 500. Nobody does that in baseball. So look, they were okay. Let me put it another way. Maybe this way will sound better. They were golfing for par. They absolutely did. They hit par on every single hole. Couple of birdies threw it in there. Absolutely. But no bogeys. No bogeys. It was at least par. So they did a great job covering all the bases. Like I said, I would have liked to have seen a little more interaction between them. They waited literally to the very last second to do it. But they still did it. They got it in there right at the end. So it does count. Okay? I just would have liked to have seen more of that. But this was a really great performance to watch. Remember, I'm not taking the song into account here. Okay? I'm not. I already did that. It got blocked, but it's over on Patreon. If you guys want to go check it out, you're more than welcome to, okay? But I'm not saying you have to. I'm not even asking you to. I'm just saying it's there if you want to go see it. But this performance, this live performance was great. It was a great live performance, and that is why it's getting the 8.5. So, 8.5, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys want to join the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.